Okay. Well, our thing for some reason messed up. I don't know if it's
Part
still.
2, I guess.
Yeah, let me double check on this.
Hopefully it saved that whole hour.
Well, it still says we're live on the other one.
Are we like double live?
I don't know.
Oh, that's annoying.
I see us right now. I don't know why that one. I really don't know how to get that to go off. Because right here it says 2. I don't know if that one's. I think that's us right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it still says we're live, but we're not. Okay. Okay. We're live on this one. This one's just.
Our laptop usually tells us, like,
I don't even think
plug it in, and it didn't. Like, it didn't tell us it was going to die, and then died. Thank you.
Well, the only problem, I don't know if this one's going to say it's continued being live and then just continues uploading till it's like, like over an hour, like it's going to just continue playing.
How do you stop it?
You in live control room?
Are we double live?
No, that other one's not working. Like, I don't know if the laptop, I don't know how.
Click straight.
Because, see, it's still saying it's live. I don't know. I'm so confused.
If we're in the control room, why can't we end it?
I don't know. Sorry, but we're having issues. Should be able to. Saying no data. Like, we should be able to end it right here.
Enable auto stop? What does that do?
Where? Did it end it? No, we're still going.
Seriously?
Bear with us for a minute. We're trying to figure out why the other video is not stopping. Because this one's saying it's not. Maybe just when we stop this one, we'll stop the other one. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, but what was we talking about? I got a story.
I don't even know. I got so irritated.
I got a story on Bill Suff. I actually was writing another one. He said, "Just breathe, you're fine." But I got another. I was writing another inmate, and he's in San Quentin as well. But turns out he was using, like, they mentioned about typewriters, and he was using his old typewriter. And after I heard that, both of them quit writing me, so they might have got upset that I was writing both of them. 2014.
I wonder why they're like that. Like, why they don't want you to write other people.
I don't know. Yeah, these were 2014. This was 2016. That's how long apart they were. It might eventually stop. I don't want to delete it.
Yeah, because that would be basically the whole point of this, the whole show.
But I don't want it to continue going either.
I thought the enable stop would do it.
This says not interested. But yeah, trying to think, it was Ward Weaver, which he was kind of an old. Like, I think he was trying to say, like, I don't remember. It was really awkward what he was trying to say. Here's some other interesting stuff. Which that was our first one, right? So that one just must not still be. Yeah, it's still. I don't know. There we go. It continues being live. It continues being live, I guess. But these are just here. Can you hold the other side? These, I think, are just. I don't know who wrote that. Like just random stuff. Oh, I think that's from Dana. This was a dream. A card she made.
What's this?
That's just thanks.
Wow, I like that.
That one was from the dude I held. Like some stuff. These are like cards she actually made. And these are just like copies of them. Besides that one, that was her skydiving. This was the thing she sent me. It's not actual real pogo. It's just like how to draw pogo. Well, paint pogo, I should say. Well, what was I
Has
tell
she
you?
tried to paint them?
I think she did. I knew Philip done some, but there was what was it? What did I tell you? Almost $8,000 for a pogo painting. These were done by Bill Suffs. These are neurology life path numbers. Whatever. Wait, that's the numbers. Whatever these things are called. Famous people who share your birthday. But he got my birthday wrong. He put 1984. I was born 89. He done one with Adrian. He done one with Lily. This is just a copy here. It's actually trial papers of Philip. He actually ran out of paper, so he just wrote stuff on the back. Then I just made copies of them because the ones he sent, were like really thick. So I just made copies so I could put them in this and like read them later. Here is. That's I think when Dana was getting moved. That's paperwork for that. Some religious pamphlet there. Other stories. This letter here was interesting. I'm assuming it got stuck because the address, that's not me. It's supposed to go to California. This letter's from California and it came here. I'm assuming it got stuck on on my letter, or somebody really messed up for it not to get all the way.
Why wouldn't you send it to the person that needs to send them to you?
Well, it's been in December, 5 years ago.
But when you opened it though, like when you seen it, why wasn't you like, oh?
I didn't think I just sit down on me. That's basically another like stories by Dana.
Forgot it in his letter.
I'm sure he probably wrote back, probably like flipping out on him. Why are you not writing? I need stuff. I know. This is I kind of got upset with my mailman on this one. That's Bruce Davis. That's a pamphlet thing. It got wet in the mail because he didn't close the mailbox all the way and it rained. He didn't do that again today either. So luckily I got up there because he actually left the stuff all outside. Well, this Ed
I know,
Gein up here.
It's so weird because like he's a really nice guy. Like the one day when we had packages, he like drove down in our driveway because we like it's kind of like a bank and then like a little driveway like hill thing, and then the house and like Bruce's mom's house and stuff. So like he literally brought it down to me, but today he like just left the packages
Yeah, he
against
left
the
the
mailbox.
yeah.
He usually will put it like in the garage or something like that.
The poster he left beside the mailbox. The book fit in,
That's so
but it
weird
was
to
still
me,
open
though.
like that much.
Maybe it just goes by mood.
Did you give me? Oh, yeah, you did. But here's like this got sent to me by a guy that killed people in St. Albans.
St. Albans.
Yeah, Mark McAllister back in the 80s, 90s. I don't know. But he sent these of the Charles Bruce Franklin. That's the guy that was playing guitar in the prison photo. So I just thought it was weird because it made connections. But here's actually Charles, like Legend of the Moundsville Pen, where he was in the penitentiary, the riot. Here's a thing. This is actually a thing from Bobby. He said, "Thought you'd get a kick out of this. Keep it, trash it. I don't need it back." So this, what he got a kick out of, it was for good behavior, above satisfactory, the security evaluation, and enhanced game time award 10 days was recommended, but his current release date was 9/9/9/9/9/9. He was on death row. He wasn't getting out.
What? 999.
See,
How many
9/9/9/9/9/9. But he got 10 days off. But he's on death row though.
Well, that's an asshole move of the
I have a blog
warden.
coming out that explains more, like where I talked about I've talked about the Bundy thing and a few things, but I actually got a blog which I just done part one of one of the guys that knew Bundy in prison. I don't have his letters on me, but he's been on death row for like 40 some years for most likely a murder he did not commit. And there's like evidence to show that he did not commit it. It was with his family. This is stuff that Dana sent me. She like circled that she needed. So this was just her kind of still testing the water on me. This is Patrick Kearney handprint. He killed a bunch of men. Like that dude's IQ is like high, like 170 or something, 180, if I remember correctly. Google it. Patrick Kearney.
Patrick
But
Kearney.
that's the Easter. And this is just back of the thing. That's the thing with Bardo,
What
Robert
was I supposed to
Bardo,
look up?
Patrick Kearney.
I just
IQ.
typed in Patrick. Oh, IQ.
I want to say it was like 181, but I could be wrong on that. It's been a while, but he was like a genius, though. 180. He's only 5'5". He's born in 1939. He's an older gentleman. Probably had an IQ of 180.
When were those cards printed?
Which one?
Your cards.
I can't remember. I bought them years ago.
I bet some of them's died since then.
Yeah. Which Dennis Rader's still alive.
Well, yeah,
but Patrick Kearney's on one of the cards.
I know he's apparently still alive too.
Yeah, he like done. Yeah, he was pretty.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
He was
like,
pretty
did
like
he die,
demented.
and that was just like printed
like, he was
before
pretty.
he died?
He was pretty demented. Oh, he's still like that. He's still alive. So, Charles Manson. I don't know. I've talked to people when this got sent. I don't know if it's real or not. If it's his real signature, because he had other people write it. But I actually sent him a book of stamps and then got this reply, and it's just a printout. That's something for Dana. These are just stuff. This was the actual thing at Manson's wake, his viewing. This is just a copy of that. And this is the will that Michael Channels had and stuff. I think Michael Channel should have got him. Here's about the man who shot John Lennon, Mark David Chapman. I've wrote Mark David Chapman. He's never responded back. But this is Robert Bardo. He done all this because we're the whole, what was that book? But it was the book that he had. I've read the book, but he had that book too. This is stuff about Dana sent. Here's the thing with Lawrence Bittaker. He's just thank you for your inquiry, which arrived the 20th. However, I'm not able at this time accepting new correspondence. I thank you for your offer and wish you the best. Thanks again. And here's another Patrick Kearney snail handprint. Here's one of a turkey handprint of Patrick Kearney.
Same. That's all I'd be able to make.
Wait, on the back says "Dear Mom," and it's like a Bible quote in my high tower. Here's why I actually tried to send a magic card to Tim in prison, just so he could check
And
out.
they told you no?
Yeah, well, they never sent it back either. They were supposed to send it back, and they didn't. It was like an old, like it wasn't. I didn't send him like an expensive card.
Well, good thing.
Here's Philip Janlowski's handprint, and he got a book which I have. It's Deadly Urges, and these are actually all the people that he killed in his hand.
I feel like they have small hands.
He actually
Like
does.
all of them have small
He
hands.
supposedly had a small
Like-
male part too. I think he actually traced it and sent it out to people.
What is he? Wait, wrong hand.
That's still pretty good.
Oh, bigger than mine. About the size of you, yeah.
My fingers all match up with his.
Besides his thumb's a little longer.
Yeah. Which he was kind of taller too. I'm only like 5'10" because I've had somebody that was like 6'6". My hand was almost as big as his.
Didn't you argue with me that you were like 6 foot?
Like if I wear shoes, I'm like 5'11", 6
Because I was
foot.
trying to say him and my mom are the same height. My mom's like 5'10", I think.
No, my sister's 5'9", and I'm like 2 inches taller than her.
You're taller than Jeff.
Yeah, I'm taller than my sister. My sister's 5'8", 5'9".
You guys need to stand next to each other. So
Your mom's not as tall as you thought. You also told me Franny was taller than me, and I'm like a foot taller than her.
Well, I'm only 5 foot, so I think everybody's like extremely tall.
Yeah, I think your mom might be. Because my mom's like 5'6", but my sister's 5'8", 5'9", and I'm
Your mom's 5'6"?
5'6", well, 5'6", 5'7". I have my driver's license. I'm
That's
6
like
foot.
that's
Here's the
like
chess
mind-numbing to me.
piece, a copy of how like the chess game works with Demonstrator. This is just how I like to send money and stuff to them, like JPay. There's just copies of stuff that I sent. That's Philip with the girl that he was like in love with. Here's Ronald Williams. He was a guy from Moundsville. This is where termination of power of attorney from Tim to somebody else. This is something Dana wrote. This actually came from Lincoln County. My mom found it. It's from 1928. It's about a guy that was at Moundsville. They had him in the Lincoln County jail. She said she's 5'2".
Yeah.
This more of.
I've really been misjudging people lately. Then, like, I would have sworn your mom was like. I would have thought your mom was 5'10".
Maybe 6 foot. My grandmother.
I know, but
My mom's a whole lot shorter. Like I think Doug's 5'9". My
I don't know why
stepdad.
that doesn't register in my head. I don't know.
I'm taller than him quite a bit. There's like Easter stuff. Here's that thing I saw about that I showed earlier that Dane had
Oh
the
yeah,
Roy
the
Norris.
season greetings.
These are cards. Think all about Dana. That's Danny Bible. He died too. Philip. Ronald. Bobby. Phil. That was. Here's Dana's handprint with Dorothy. The purple, I believe. Yeah, purple looks older. Oh, that was like an older one.
Let me see. That one. Who is it? Why are my fingers short?
Mine like them golf.
Like her hand, like the palm part and like the thumb is the same, but her fingertip, like it's a whole fingertip longer than mine.
Yeah, my hand like engulfs both of them.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of Dana from a few years ago with shorter hair. And some stuff about God. And I think that Danny Bible sent that to me. For sure. Here's my post. Well, it's a postcard of.
Yeah, you need to straighten it up. It fell over in there.
I just put it in here, but it's for John's show. That's the film, The Serial Killer Culture. It's on
That's
Amazon.
a good one too. If you guys haven't seen that,
He talks to other like collectors and just people that's involved. Like these people have like a lot more stuff.
Yeah, like if you like this kind of stuff, definitely go watch that. That's really like hardcore. Like they pay a lot.
Well, it's not that they pay a lot. Like
Well, they have a lot worth a lot.
They were alive with like Gacy and stuff like that. One guy's got not a pin on him, but a cross that Ed Gein's mother had, and Ed Gein actually said this was my mother's, and he had like a painting of him. One guy went to a yard sale.
What makes them give that stuff away though?
I think they got it somehow, and then at an auction maybe. Oh. I can't remember how, but what was I saying?
Sorry.
With no, that was a different. The guy he got a shoe, rollerblades from the one of the women that Ed Gein killed, and Ed Gein actually mentioned about them going rollerblade skating, and he bought them for like $2 at the yard sale. So he don't know if those were hers or not, but they look old. And he's the one that got the belt too that possibly strangled some victims at another guy's house. Because when they went on the property, it was there, and they had mentioned it.
What do they do with stuff like how
Todd Collinham?
How he made like lamps and like nipple belts?
They say they got rid of a lot. His house got burnt. His house got burnt down right after. Like his house.
So they just burn it up.
They think people did because they're going to turn it into a tourist attraction. And they think it up because Ed Gein just basically said, it happens. Which he probably would have got let out too.
Call me crazy, but I think it would be interesting to see what he had made.
He dug up a
probably
lot.
Be scary, but
he dug up a lot. I think this guy, I just want to mention. I've only seen one thing somebody sold online of his, but I read him years ago. It's the Jeff Melhot. He basically said, "Thank you for your letter and poem in that situation. Unfortunately, I'm not good at writing letters because it always takes so long for me to finish writing one, seeing as it takes me forever to put my thoughts into words." And talking about being stressful, and he basically just reached out to say, "Hey, thank you." And he's not looking to write anyone.
Nice, yeah, because some people can't read or write very good.
Like, he don't have bad handwriting, but he actually cut up like 3 women, and I don't think they ever found all their bodies. Like they went to a dump site. I read a book on them.
Strange.
There's some more stuff.
Also, I just wanted to show this off a little bit. I know you can't really see it all that well. Maybe you can now. But this is a necklace off of Blood Moon Crafts. They have a Facebook page and an Etsy. And they have all kinds of stuff like this. Like, she makes jewelry. She makes, like, all kinds of stuff. She makes pendulum boards. Like, those are new, I think. Just want to give a quick shout out because I super just love everything that she does. So, like, if you're into that kind of stuff, like crystals and, all that, check that out as well while he's finding what he's looking for.
There's some from Ward Weaver.
Yeah,
there's actually, speaking of serial killer culture, there's shows too that he does where he talks to more people. So if you like that kind of thing, and he's getting ready to do a season 3 as well. Like, they're very, very interesting. I don't know if that one video still went away or not. It might still say they're live. Yeah, it still does. Jesus. But it's not loading up, so I don't know. One other thing with Patrick, I always liked his envelopes were brown, but they were brown envelopes. So I always knew, and when I got these, who they were from. Yeah, I wrote them from 04. I think the last letter I got from was in 05. I mean, not 05, 15. I thought I got another letter from him towards. But he done quite a bit. Like, he taught people and stuff too. Like, taught classes and everything. Like, I got a lot of stuff from Dana. I think that's what most of these are from, is Dana. This boy always. I don't know. Andrew Conley. He killed his brother, and they kind of like put the whole Dexter show on it. Like I wrote him and stuff, and he actually talked about what he done and stuff. But I think he's in a actual photo of people. I think there was it the cats or dogs they were training. I think it was cats, wasn't it? I think he's in the photo because he wasn't very old himself. Like I don't even know. He was 2021, if that, maybe a little bit younger. But yeah, he killed his brother and like strangled him and put him like behind the school. Here's one from Charles Watson, Tex Watson, with the Manson family. He actually, I kind of went religious. I'm not religious, but I went that route in one of my letters, and he actually put that on his website.
Put what on his website?
My letter.
Why?
I think I was like asking religious questions, stuff like not, believing, being lost, and all that. Like played that part.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that. I think that's where we're different. I feel like Bruce would, like, he would say what he needed to get a reply. I don't think that I would. I'd probably just
Well,
be myself.
that's the type of person he is, though. Here's one. He's not a killer, but it's Darren Sharper. He was an NFL football player for the Green Bay Packers. That's my favorite team. And one of my favorite players, but he ended up being a rapist. I don't know, like he had money. Like he's like, if he didn't have all the stuff going on, he would be in the Hall of Fame. Like he has 13 touchdowns, which is tied most for defense. We had 63 interceptions, which is I know for sure in the top 10 of interceptions. Like he was a great player.
Should have been a rapist, I guess.
Yeah, he basically let life run. But he made a lot of money. Played for the Packers forever. Went to the Vikings. Went to
was
the
it
Saints.
like a proven rape or like one
of
of
those?
It was like
another
accusations?
State. It was like in states.
Okay.
Like in a few states.
So like multiple rapes. Like tons.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot from Tim.
Because I know, like with football players, like they get accused a lot, but it has to be like proven.
Yeah, I wrote Ronald Williams because where he was in Mounds. I used to have blogs up. I had to take them down because he was trying to do something with Trout, but he broke out. But he actually gave me some stories on Moundsville that actually helped with some of my investigation, paranormal wise. This guy I thought was pretty funny. Anthony Moats is his name. He just wrote me actually. If you followed me with the Samantha Burns case, I wrote one of her boyfriends that supposedly Chad said she confessed to and everything. Well, I guess he thought I was this writer, like this big writer. Well, this guy wrote me thinking I could write a book, and like,
wait, what did you say? Who?
Who?
Whose boyfriend?
Beth's boyfriend.
Oh.
But yeah, this guy was
the one.
With the Chad and Brandon and all that.
Oh, the boyfriend at the time.
Yeah, he shot a cop and went to federal prisons, and he was in Florida, I think.
I don't know if it was her boyfriend. I don't know
No,
if
it
it's her
wasn't
boyfriend now.
No, it was back like after all that.
Okay,
happened.
so this guy, because the one guy, like we kind of got in arguments in Messenger.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I remember a lot of stuff that he's talked about Dwayne a little bit. Yeah, he has 37 felony convictions, ranging from forgery through cocaine, meth,
is he nicer?
Who?
This guy.
What?
This guy.
Well, yeah, Nikki was kind of like. I actually sold one. I actually had Robert Picton, the serial killer up in Canada. He actually wrote a book, and it got out. Well, I bought it on Amazon, and like I bought it that morning, and by that evening, they're like flipping out, like, "Oh my god, the serial killer's book got out." Well, I was like, "Well, crap, I'm not going to get my book that I just ordered." I actually got that book, and I had it, and I sold it to send money to Nikki to help with so he could write me. And the book really, like, I wish I kind of would have kept the book in a way because Nikki gave me some information which I put in the blog, which I don't know, it didn't really help, but at the time I thought it was going to be helpful because the book was just hadn't because that book was awful. Like it had nothing about nothing. Like I think most of it because Erica read it and she was talking about like because she was thinking it was going to be interesting as well, and it was. And
It
it was
just
like,
wasn't.
it was like, oh, I drove this girl in a pickup truck. I think like half the book was about him in a pickup truck.
Maybe he just had a fascination.
I don't know. It was a crappy book, but I was still glad I got it because it was rare, and it was like $150 at the time. I sold it for like $100, I think, to somebody.
Every time you mention Beth, I just think about arguing with that guy. Like, I really don't hold a grudge, but if it's brought up, I'm like, let's throw hands right now.
But yeah, this guy was wanting me to basically been sent around some type of criminal activity. I've been involved in some pretty serious shit that could be put together into a pretty good read. I have all my paperwork on my criminal past. I will not provide any evidence that could be used to prosecute anyone, but I will share enough details about some missing person cases to get you plenty of attention if there is a way for me to avoid any further prosecution myself.
So he thought that he
no
was
one
going
has
to be able
ever
to.
written about my former gang association and talk about all of that.
So he thought he was going to like have you write about it and get immunity.
Yeah, because the Nicky guy told him that I was a writer basically and thought I was this well-known writer. So he was like really like thinking I was going to be.
Well, you have wrote a book.
Well, it's like a poetry book. I wrote like stuff when I was younger that was like really bad and stupid.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. You could probably write like a not a documentary. What is it? Like a book.
But here is stuff from Danny Bible. Like
have we been showing our address this whole time? Because I don't think I've been covering.
I've been trying to cover it.
I don't think I did.
The ones you were showing for Dana, that was her address.
Oh, good.
Which Danny, like, he was a really religious guy. He was a nice guy. He ended up getting executed. But he was like blind.
Now?
Like he was going blind and everything.
What do they do now? Is it just lethal injection, or is it like different places, different stuff?
He was in Texas.
But I mean, like chair, lethal injection, firing squad, like what? I know we do.
That's what I was talking about. Remember the Hayden Clark thing I talked about in the other video?
Why does it say, "Hey, Bruce Jenner, can you do this?"
Yeah, that was after the whole Hayden Clark was interesting. He was 73 years old back.
Oh, that's disgusting. I don't like that.
Is he really that old now?
Can I show that?
If you want.
That's really gross. Okay, well.
We would do.
Yeah. Gross.
Yeah.
When was it? What year? 2015?
Yeah, it's in my nickname in prison is Mr. Bunny Rabbit.
That's gross.
He didn't draw it. His colored that in, I think. It looks like.
He didn't draw it? Who drew it?
He might have drew it. Never mind.
I was about to say, who drew that? It's not like a card.
Maybe it's the Thumper thing, the rabbit and the other one.
Because I don't know. After that picture, it makes me think perverted. Yeah, gross. I know. That's so weird.
What female is this?
That's weird to me. Do you know him really well?
No, that's the only thing I ever got back from him. He actually, I think they let him wear women's clothes and took him out. There's photos of it.
Well, that doesn't bother me, but gross. He doesn't even know you, and he's just like, here. Is that him?
No, this is a girl that wrote me, but I can't remember how she got my address.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see now. She's in the prison.
This was kind of reminded of like Orange is the New Black type style stuff. But I had wrote a woman that killed somebody, and I think she gave my address to other people.
Well, yeah, you dumb dick. That's what you get.
But yeah, she was like a stripper.
You get a PA box.
Well, it still would come to me anyways.
They're not going to find your house from
like
a PA box.
I got like a few letters from Bruce Davis. I got 2 from like Roy Norris. He like wanted stamps, and he'd answer so many questions.
You should see how much paper is over here right now.
Like I have a whole drawer, like a filing cabinet full of stuff. And that's not even all
drawer.
of it. Like I don't have. Keith has a big hand. Oh, sorry, my phone just fell. Like his hand, that's Keith Jesperson. He's the happy face killer.
Let's test that one.
He's like 6'5".
Which hand? Yep. Jeez.
His finger is like 2 inches bigger than yours. But prison orders not me to sign a smiley face or anything.
They told him not to sign a smiley face?
Like his thumb's bigger, but compared to my hand, it's
not too much bigger, yeah.
Yeah. I have pretty size hand. But John actually, he wanted John to do a film on him. He actually wrote John. Because John was actually in the whole. I'm talking about John Borowski. That's what I thought was interesting with the Dennis Rader case, the BTK. They actually was going to use him because they knew the Dennis Rader like serial killers, and they knew he had a fascination with H.H. Holmes. Where he had done a documentary on H.H. Holmes, they were going to let him play it in a theater to see who attended and go through that whole thing of everybody bought tickets and everything, but he got caught right before that. But yeah, that was his tie-in to
I mean, it's good he got caught, but still, like, that shitty time.
But can you imagine them making a documentary on something and then you're like, next thing you know, you're going to possibly be used in a...
Which I love all of John's films. And also, like, if you want to follow him, he's doing, like, what is it called? Like, watch parties right now since he can't, like, do, what's it called? Meet and greet? Or whatever
Well, he's doing a live videos where he, like, you can buy stuff from a store and he signs it.
Well, yeah, since, like, it's due to the whole quarantine thing, isn't it? Like, he's doing more, like, live watch parties.
A lot of, like, artists and people like that, indie filmmakers, like, the conventions they rely on where they got canceled due to the virus. So
Bruce was on the one, what was it, True Crime Thursdays?
Well, it's Crimes of Our Time. It's a show he has on Thursday with live. The next one, like this one he just had, Rick Fisher was on there.
Does he do them every day?
No, the ones are on Saturday. The one's just him.
Okay.
But it's on his personal Facebook. I usually try to share it on the page, the Killer Crossface. But the Crimes of Our Time, they go on YouTube as well. Like the one I'm in's on there, and it's all updated. But the last one was Rick Fisher.
Is it under John's name?
Yes, I think.
Well, I'm just trying to tell them, so like give them.
But they're an hour-long show. But it's on like Get Vote.
It's interesting.
But Rick Fisher was the latest one. He does Mask, which I ordered one. So I can't wait to get that in.
Oh, yeah. I forgot we were going to talk about stuff that we were interested in getting. Yeah, that's cool.
So that one should be out. Well, hopefully, I don't know how long it takes to make them.
Would you guys like an unboxing when we do it? Like a live video of an unboxing? Or would you rather us just like post a picture when we get it? Because I know like unboxing is like the hot new thing. Well, maybe not new, but like on YouTube, that's what people do.
Oh, wait, maybe? Okay, I'll say later. Yeah, this is Chris Price. This is, speaking of John, this letter is actually part of it's in his book about Gacy because he answers live for the unboxing. But he actually answers about the whole John Wayne Gacy connection in this, and I let him use it for his book at the end.
But when I get around to like finding it, the coloring book and like encyclopedia, I'll just post a picture of that on our page, just because like I don't even know what happened today. Like it just seemed hectic this evening.
I think this guy was on a podcast, and I wrote him, and he actually wrote me back. It's Byron Smith, but Sword and Scale is one of my favorite true crime podcasts. He wrote, basically his whole thing was interesting. He recorded like after he shot the couple that broke into his house, like he recorded and everything. That's basically what got him. I think he even recorded maybe when he shot him too.
Why?
Like he recorded the whole thing, like he's talking about it.
Was he like trying to?
I don't know. But,
like trying to go.
So now they're like he was an older guy.
Also, Penny, I don't know like how long you followed us or if like you listen to podcasts or not. We do have a podcast. A lot of it is like like serious stuff, but we have a few fun ones in there, like the last words and like the death row, like last meal type things. So I don't like if you haven't checked that out, like you may enjoy that. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we kind of take breaks in between. I know we just done the Colby one. And then we done Leah Hickman for that, which we kind of took a long, like about a month or so break. Which after Leah Hickman,
Yeah,
with my
that one,
grandfather,
yeah.
and then Nova's
There was a
incidents with
lot
the
going
seat,
on.
so we kind of took a little bit of time off. Which I figure will probably sometime next month when we start back up on the investigations. Which, like I said, we're hopefully trying to keep it out there, and hopefully we'll talk and all that, get people talking about it.
Did you talk about this?
What, John?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just I actually talked to him, and he sent he sent that stuff to me.
Oh, that was very nice.
Well, he says happy hunting.
Okay, cool.
Oh, thank you. It's hard to get support around here, to be honest with you.
And it's hard to keep up with like where it comes from too. Like I know on Podbean, like what we use to like post, like it tells you where it's coming from, but it just says like America out of the country. So it's hard to keep up with like where our stuff is going.
I can't remember who John Collins is. He's a serial killer, but he took like a while.
Can you Google it?
He'll hit me back once about telling about the blog and everything and all that. But he never responded back after that.
All I got was a basketball player.
How do you spell? It's in Michigan.
I'll type in.
But he would. I'm trying to remember.
The Michigan Murders was a series of highly publicized killings of young women committed between 1967 and 1969 in the Ann Arbor area of southeastern Michigan by an individual known as Ypsilanti Ripper, the Michigan murderer and co-ed killer. Like, oh, that darn glare. Because I don't know if you guys can.
That's kind of interesting with.
One convicted, 5 alleged.
Which hopefully we're not boring you all with this. But this guy I really felt sorry for. He was. I wrote a blog on him too. Rodney now, but he's been in jail for like at the time 20, 30 some years for a murder he didn't commit. And basically the video and stuff, well, a little girl put him in prison, but her mom got murdered. Well, she ended up getting murdered by Tommy Lynn Sales. His DNA linked him to the crime, and Rodney finally was going to be released because the evidence shows that he didn't do it. Well, the girl at the time said it was him. This like back in the I think early '80s, mid '80s, and they're like, what would you do if you would see her now? And he's like, well, I'd give her a big hug. Like he still, forgave her for basically ruining his whole life because he'd spent that long in prison because he was in his 70s. But one thing about that, the address to the prison is No More Victims Road. So I thought that was interesting. I think this guy actually killed a child. Clinton Northcutt. I think he's a child killer. But if you remember the whole West Virginia thing when that guy like killed that baby, remember like it wasn't his kid, like he was dating the mom.
What?
It's been a few years ago, like 4 years ago maybe. But like he killed it and like I think raped a kid or whatever. Like she was like 1, 2 years old. I'm sure he remembered. But I wrote him. Well, I think that's why he didn't.
Why would you write him?
He didn't do it. This guy was a different.
Oh.
He's in South Carolina. But I wrote him and I talked to him about that and got his opinion. I think it probably upset him.
I probably would have
I think he killed
him to be like, what's up, you piece of shit?
I think he done like the shaking syndrome.
Did they kill him?
Who?
The guy that you're talking about.
The one from West Virginia, no. He might. I
Why?
don't know if he ever went to prison yet. He might. I think he did finally.
I feel like somebody should tell all the others and just like turn their head and be like, he's a baby raper and a killer, and then just be like,
Yeah, she remembers it. Yeah.
Maybe if I've seen it.
You would know that what I'm talking about.
Well, I think I'm getting confused because what we talked about recently, wasn't it? Like they killed the kids and the mom got blamed, but it wasn't actually the mom.
No, that's not that. That's a different state.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's completely.
I know we talked about that recently, and that's what I thought of when you said that.
I think it finally said we're not live on the other video. Maybe let me see.
Maybe it just times out.
Well, by that, I don't even think the video might not even be on there. Oh. Then again, it might. So if anybody missed the first video, if it's not on there, I apologize. But we basically went over the board game, all the stuff back here, artwork and stuff like that. You know, one thing. Speaking of Bobby, because where he was from West Virginia, like I actually found his address when he lived here with his mother, and last time I was down that way, she was still alive. It was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I came back from an investigation in Kentucky and drove by there, and she was outside. This is a serial killer, Dayton Rogers. I can't remember. I don't know if he writes. I don't know. But he actually got it. But yeah. Yeah, speaking of Bobby, though, like one of his letters, he wrote me back because I was from West Virginia myself. And he was like, "Who are you?" But he didn't mean it in that sense. It was just more of a basic. But he like basically questioned my whole life, and I'm like trying to think who I am. But he said when he was here, like the only thing he remembered of was basically Dreamland Pool in in Canova. But he got hit by a car in the 50s, 60s, I think 60s. I think he was more in the 50s. But I couldn't find I needed an exact date because he was telling me about it. But his mom, like, was still alive, but he's the one that just got executed last May.
Yeah, that kind of messed with you, didn't it?
Not really.
Kind of just
He always called me himself Uncle Bob, but I just thought he was a pervert. Like we talked for
creepy uncle.
I think it was 2013 or 2016, like through letters. Like it was like he was sending me stuff. Like he'd send me a big long letter, then he'd send me like one after that was just like a page or two to say, "Hey, I'm checking in." But he was just mostly interested in women. And we talked about quite a bit of stuff. But it was like one of the major ones that I talked to that actually got besides Philip, which I wrote him for a while. But here's one I wrote David Browski, son of Sam, and they say if you go religious and talk religion to him, he might actually reply back. He didn't reply back to me, but I got stuff from people that deal with him. It's like pamphlets and all that. And then this, Son of Hope, the testimony of David Brodsky. Because they say sometimes I've heard that happen with like other people, like Gary Ridgway, because he's a religious man as well. And like the lady that sent me the thing from Dennis, which I had already talked to Dennis for a little bit before that, but sometimes killers have their people they go after. Well, not people they go after, but they have people do things kind of for them on the outside. So, like with that girl, she sent me that stuff saying, "Hey, this is why Dennis had responded." But I hear that like David and Gary, that they'll have people kind of contact you if they're interested and kind of get a feel for you type thing, something like that. Yeah, I'll find some other interesting stuff. I hope you guys all find this interesting. Like I said, my collection's not as big as some people's because, like I don't
I'm
have.
excited to get your mask though.
I know that's because I don't really been like all this besides like Richard Ramirez. I've got it from writing to people, and it's just like I said. I've started picking back up on it because I didn't really write. I've only wrote a few of them. Like I said, Todd, I've wrote like he's one of the latest ones in the school shooter and stuff. But here's something that Dana done on one of my envelopes with the cats. But yeah, like I said, I've wrote that Samuel Little guy, the one that confessed like 100 murders. I've wrote him. He never responded back yet. I've wrote Gary Ridgway again. He hasn't responded back yet, which I just sent his letter out recently.
I wonder if they get to do like beads, like arts and crafts.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, a lot of this is from Dana.
Because used to have beaded work. I have one.
Because I know what happens with a lot of people, which some of the other people's talked about, what it boils down to, like we were talking about in the serial killer culture documentary, most of these guys, they wrote a lot of them that were well known back in the day because they were alive back then. But now, a lot of people that sell this stuff, like it's kind of put, because most of them, like Dennis, he said, you don't sell my stuff, I'm alive, stuff like that. So a lot of them like don't want their stuff sold because they don't want to be that type, people just writing them for that. They actually want honest people writing them, which they do get hate mail, stuff like that. But you would think that some would write, but a lot of them don't write because they think, well, they're just after a letter from me so they can sell. That kind of ruins it for people that's actually interested in talking to them, which most of them don't talk about their murders. Like I said, Philip was the only one that really did. Trying to think. Dana's talked a little bit about hers, but not a whole lot. Tim's talked to me a little bit about his, which I've actually, talked to his attorney and stuff in emails. Like he had me as a power of attorney over him. And I've visited him on death row twice. Like I said, very, very nice man. If you listen to that podcast episode with him, because he's very, very well educational and stuff. He does a lot of research.
Educated.
Yeah, that's what I mean, educated. I'm trying to find a letter. Maybe I might have been the one. I think it's that one because these are all of them that I have with me. Hope that one video didn't delete though. What's that? Yeah, that right. Like I said,
so I'll have to redo it.
we don't have to redo it.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, what all did we show in it?
All this. We've been at this for like 2 hours.
I know. I'm almost done. I think this was the girl that I was talking about earlier.
The one that shared your address?
I think so. But she had.
Bitch.
No, this might be the same one. Well, one of them actually was real nice. Like, I think she just lost her mom or something.
So she shared your address?
No, it was just the other girl did, but I can't remember what her name was. She actually wrote to me. I wrote a one lady that, like, killed somebody, and she, like, flipped out that I wrote her. I guess she thought I was wanting her or something. But she was a porn star, actually, but she killed, like, I think somebody with a claw hammer. But she was actually in a movie, too.
Who cares?
I think this is her, though.
I have such a terrible mindset. Like, I'm literally thinking, like, if somebody would have done that, I would have went to visit them in jail and probably got arrested while I was there. Just, like, beat their fucking head off the table.
She's in Florida.
Like, you want to share my address? Bang, bang, bang.
Well, Dana was afraid because people, like,
bang, bang, bang.
Dana said, like, people, like, got messed up with her. But yeah, she was in Road Trip 2. Yeah, she actually kissed this letter. I don't know if you could see her lipstick.
Thanks for the herpes.
Yeah, it's right there. That's the only time I've heard back from her twice. But yeah, Dana was telling me that like she would write me and say, "Hey, if somebody writes you, just stop responding," because I guess people would like go through her stuff here and there and like make her mad, and she always had to get transferred. But I remember
Who
her,
went through her stuff? Just random?
yeah, people that she was housed with, because she was talking about like young punks coming in. This has been like years ago. This was probably 2004, 2005.
If I was a lifer, I would not give a shit.
Well,
I would be so
she
violent.
mentioned about like a trash can, somebody getting hit with a trash can. But
I'd hit somebody with a trash
it
can.
really reminds you of Orange is the New Black. Like that's basically the drama she used to tell me because she was older and stuff. And she's had all these young people coming in that basically she'd basically drop them because they get on her nerves.
Good. She's in there for life anyway. She ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah, she was on something years ago, and she told me to watch it and got to get her opinion on it.
Was
I mean,
it?
on my opinion, but I couldn't never find it. Like I found the person that wrote her and stuff.
Is it a TV show?
Yeah.
Is it Women Behind Bars that I've been trying to watch?
No,
And I've not been able to finish?
no, no. It was like a news channel.
Oh.
I forgot who the actual guy was, but I have more stuff too. It's like Tim sent me. I've got like files of like stuff that Dana's done.
Endless.
Which
Endless.
yeah, like I said, hopefully the other video saved. And sorry for I don't know, like I said, what happened.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm always so mad at it. Oh, I thought that needed to scroll down for
No,
some
no.
reason.
Like I said, hopefully through the 25th, hopefully next month sometime we'll get our other live investigations rolling. I just got to get everything situated and get the research rolling.
You having trouble?
There. There. I got like books and everything too, which I was really hoping because Philip said that if somehow he got the one book that's about him, he'd actually write in it and like give like keynotes, but I never was able to do that. And I think the book's out of print now. I think they're like $60, $70, $80, depending on what kind of shape they're in. I bought mine for like $4 or $5 back in the day. But I think that's everything for this. Unless you guys have any questions about anything. But is that all you got?
Think so. Either, well, I don't know, maybe not tonight, but maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight. I don't know. I'm gonna look for my books and stuff.
They're probably in.
There might be in my tote right there. Did it save?
I don't know. I'm not looking. I was
Oh.
with somebody. Oh,
Well, I think that is it for
but like I said,
tonight.
hopefully, where I've been trying to write some more.
If you guys have any suggestions of like videos or podcasts, anything that you would like to see, let us know. We're trying to get more traffic, more interaction going. Like, we want to be able to talk to you guys, and you guys talk to us, send in whatever you want. Like,
yeah, we'll
it
look
don't
at
matter.
it because
No limit.
like usually the videos we have to do late because kids and stuff,
Yeah.
which they kind of got to bed,
Well, it's the weekend, so
which
they kind of
Adrian
get to
was
bed
up for
later.
a little bit. So, and we had to go to the store today with all this going on, and it was a hassle.
We've been trying to shop local, like, as much as we can, just like the local grocery store, but we had to go to Walmart. Like, we had to. We put it off as long as we could.
Yeah. Which we made out pretty good. Like, we done good for what we need to get. But hopefully, like I said, I'll do the unboxing when that comes in. It could be a few weeks because I think he makes them and paints them and all that. But I'm really, really excited to get it. And like I said, Ed Gein's probably the one that I find most interesting because where he inspired Leatherface, Buffalo was a Bill,
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs.
Would you fuck me?
But yeah, he inspired a lot. And I'd love to go to Wisconsin So, because actually the cemetery he's buried in, even though his tombstone's not there, but like I said, there's literally a piece of grass missing. It just says Ed Gein. Somebody like took their finger and just wrote into the dirt. And the last video I've seen that somebody posted that went.
He's just obsessed with Wisconsin. He likes Green Bay. He likes that game.
Yeah, but Ed Gein's he's
Fan
like
of cheese.
a lot of people don't really remember him, but he was he was gruesome.
How do you not remember him?
He's like one
Who
of the most
doesn't
gruesome.
remember him?
Some people don't. Well, a lot of people don't say he's a
Who
serial
are you
killer.
talking about?
Well, a lot of people still think Leatherface is real.
But okay.
But we thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you all. Which hopefully we got a blog coming out that I put together on Wednesday, and we should have a video recorded by Friday podcast. Then sometime next month we'll start doing the live investigations again. So, like I said, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you later.